What's going on YouTube? This is my 2022 Sur-Ron Light BX. About 3-4 months ago I purchased the 12-inch mini supermoto wheels from Flow Wheels. I've been getting a lot of questions about these wheels and what the pros and cons to having them are. So in this video, on my way to work, I'm going to go over what I like and don't like about it, as well as things that people should consider before buying them, as well as some things that I wish I knew before buying these wheels. Alright, so the pros and cons of having mini supermoto wheels on your Sur-Ron. I'm going to start with the pros. The pros, I'm sure we all can agree, if you're watching this video, it's probably because you like the way the 12-inch wheels look on the Sur-Ron. That was my main motive to buy these wheels to begin with. Normally I don't like buying stuff before I actually physically see it, but I took that chance with buying the Sur-Ron itself. I did it again with the wheels, and overall I do like them. I love the way they look. I love that I bought these from Flow Wheels, and the guy that owns that company was great. He built them exactly the way I wanted it. I requested heavy duty tubes. That was not a problem either. I had to wait an extra 2 days for him to order more heavy duty tubes, but he got them installed. I haven't had any issues whatsoever with them. I was gonna put tire slime in it just to cover my butt in case something does happen, but I decided to wait on it, and knock on wood, I haven't had any issues yet. So another pro that I feel is with these wheels is your corner ability. This thing is so much more flickable on the street with these tires on it. It is unreal. Now, I'm sure for those that don't know, as well as for those that know from my older videos, I have the Taniwaba 3.0 power pedal kit. So I was kind of concerned actually with how they were going to work as far as lowering the center of gravity, or not lowering the ground clearance, which we'll get into that in a minute. But with the pedals, the benefit of it actually worked out good, is with this pedal kit, when you're in a hard corner, you can actually keep the pedal on the inside turn elevated, so it's actually higher than what the peg would be. So this thing is literally so flickable, I can grind the pedal with it all the way up, and it sticks to the ground perfectly. This thing is amazing with corners. As far as they don't do good in wet, which part of that is my fault, because I have not installed my front fender on the Sur-Ron. I've never put it on from day one. I just think it looks so much better without it. And compared to the stock factory rims and tires, this front tire flings up so much more water in my face when the roads are wet. It's freaking annoying. As far as the actual riding goes though, these wheels are so stable. It's such a smooth ride compared to the stock rims. I haven't taken it off-road too much. I've rode it down like a dirt road, but as far as like actually riding like the mountain bike park and all that, I haven't tried it with these rims. I really don't want to tear them up, but anybody that's considering getting these, you could definitely say that if you're anything like me and what you're looking for as far as being a street rider, you wouldn't be disappointed with these wheels. Just be careful riding them, especially if you have the pedal kit, because if your pedal is down on the inside of a turn that you make, you're probably gonna, so something's gonna happen. You wreck, get hurt, break something, there's no telling. All right, so now for the cons of the mini supermoto wheels. It's not really, the first one is not really a con, it's just something that you better be prepared for, is you gotta buy more than just the rims itself. The rims are $1,000 from Flow Wheels. On top of the rims, unless you want to completely remove your kickstand, you have to buy a shorter kickstand. And a few months ago when I bought this, the only company that made an aftermarket kickstand was a brand called Prickly, and I believe it was like $150. I ended up having to get the raw billet one because they were sold out of the anodized black one, but it doesn't look that bad though. Another con, which is what I was getting into earlier, is ground clearance. This significantly lowers the bike, which plays in with the cornerability of it and how applicable it is. But if you like doing any kind of off-roading or riding down stairs and jumping curbs, you don't want these wheels on here. Fortunately, I have been good so far, knock on wood. I'm very attentive to if I am going up or down a curb, I do it really slow. I have not, knock on wood, I have not hit my bash guard yet, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. I've seen some guys on other channels, they put off-road tires on these 12-inch rims, and I don't know how they're doing it as far as like riding it off-road, because you probably lose. You think the stock rims are 19, these are 12, so that's what, 7-inch difference, which means the bike is lowered literally 3.5 inches from stock. That's pretty big when it comes to ground clearance and how far away your bash guard is from the ground. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And also something you want to keep in mind when considering, like, before buying this, is you're going to have to also get a different sprocket. The stock sprocket on these wheels, you'll have no top speed. And it'll have crazy acceleration, but it is not going to go that fast at all. I put the 42-tooth sprocket on this thing. My speedometer says 53, sometimes 54 wide open. I've yet to verify that, but before with the stock wheels, it would only, the speedometer would only say 47 at the most. So I don't know if the bike is tricked because of the smaller diameter of the wheels, or if it's legitimately going faster. I will definitely download the GPS app, update that, and let y'all know. And another thing you're going to have to get if you don't want to use your stock ones is another set of rotors. I went ahead and bought the ones from Lunacycles. I didn't get the oversized ones, just the factory size ones. But I also got titanium rotor bolts as well as the sprocket bolts, just so that I can take them off comfortably without worrying about stripping them out. Something else I wish I knew before buying these Supermoto wheels was that tire availability for the 12-inch rims is not quite as good as for the stock 19 wheels. At least it wasn't when I ordered these. Flow wheels included tires, Kenda tires with the purchase of the rims. They come pre-installed. After I had ordered it, I started looking to see what other tires were available for my size. There's really not a whole lot. There was like maybe 3 or 4 for this bike, because something that you have to be very attentive to when ordering wheels or ordering tire size from Flow Wheels is what kind of forks your Sur-Ron came with. If your Sur-Ron came with the DNM forks, you're able to run 100 wide tires on both the front and rear. But if you have the Fast Aces or the RST or some of the other kinds of them, you have to put a 90 on the front. Fortunately, mine did come with the DNM, so I have 100 wide on both the front and back. But I did have to remove, I could have got away with cutting it, but I really didn't want to cut up my plastic fork guards. The 100 wide tire rubs a tad bit on the plastic fork covers, so I just removed them. I actually think it looks pretty good without the fork covers on it. Now with the other forks, I don't think a 100 would fit, period. There's something about the way the tube is when you hit the brakes, the inverted fork will hit the tire and causes like a jerking motion, like extra pressure being applied. So that's why they advise on the flow wheels to pay very close attention and specify which forks you have before you order these supermoto wheels. I don't know if it applies to the 14-inch and the 17-inch, but as for the 12-inch ones, you definitely have to pay attention to it. And you do want to get the wider tire if you can fit it. Definitely get the 100 wide. Apparently it's a bit more stable. I would definitely like to put a bigger sprocket on the rear and see how those wheelies compared to the stock wheels. So that brings me to my final point of what I wish I knew before ordering these wheels. I really wish I had a better, there was more information out as far as the whole gear ratio goes and sprocket size. Because I can tell you guys right now, if you like doing wheelies, don't get a 42 tooth sprocket for these rims. It'll give you a significant little bit more of a top end, but the bottom end power is just not there compared to stock. I think the combination that would be perfect for this bike, at least for me anyway, would be a 44 or 45 tooth sprocket. I think that would get it pretty close to the stock acceleration and speed. That's the one thing that I just don't like about this Sur-Ron, is it's not big enough to trigger traffic lights. So for anybody that's on the fence about getting these wheels, I would definitely say go for it. If you've got the extra 1,500 bucks to do it right, then I'll by all means, I would say go for it. They're definitely very well made, at least the ones by Flow Wheels. I believe the guy's name is Chris. He will make these for you however you want. You can customize the color of the rim, the color of the hubs, the color of the spokes, the color of the spoke nipples. Like, you can do any kind of combination of colors that he has available. The turnaround time was great. Like I said, it took me an extra 2 days to get mine because I had to wait on the heavy duty tubes to come in. But other than that, my experience with Flow Wheels was great. Also, Prickly Motorsports, or Prickly Power Sports, I believe the name of the company is, that made the kickstand. Great quality product, quick shipping. Didn't have any issues with them either. And then of course all the other parts, the rotors and all that, I got from Luna Cycles. The only thing that I had to get I ordered from Grit Shift, the titanium rotor and sprocket bolts, just because I wanted the titanium ones. I didn't want to put the regular stock bolts or be swapping rims and sprockets back and forth. I wanted to have a full another set, my stock set, ready to go. So if I want to go do serious off-roading or trail riding, I can just switch the rims out. So hopefully this video has been helpful to at least somebody out there. You know, some of the things that I wish I knew before buying it, and just things I had in mind. I did hours and hours of research before buying these. So hopefully this information can help somebody else out that's on the fence. Like I said, I'm very pleased with them. I wouldn't change anything about it other than the sprocket size. So like I said, hope this video has helped everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you to everybody who's already subscribed. See y'all in the next video.